State investigators have released their final report on an underground fire that wreaked havoc in downtown Phoenix over the summer.
The June 30th fire killed an APS worker and injured a second. Joe Dana tells us what the report reveals and whether representatives of the employee who was killed agree with the report's findings.
Underground utility vaults are the sites of work-related deaths every year around the country. These vaults are poorly ventilated and highly combustible. It goes without saying, there's little room for error for those working in these environments. The state concludes there was an error on site, a tragic accident, and APS was not at fault. This electrically charged fire took the life of Rico Castillo, a 12-year employee of APS.
You do have an electrical fire underground with the patient trapped.
Castillo and another journeyman electrician with the company were working inside the cramped vault when the fire started. According to a new report from the Arizona Industrial Commission, which oversees worksite safety, APS did not violate any safety standards. Instead, the report finds Castillo mistakenly worked on the wrong line and that he and other employees did not verify that the line was off. Said one APS employee, work scope was not to work on live lines, was supposed to be verified, but not done. The report describes how Castillo and his partner were properly briefed about the maintenance work to be performed in the vault. Following that instruction, the report states, the foreman asked the two if there were any questions, and they stated no. The report also concludes the wires targeted for maintenance were de-energized 2 days prior and remained that way the night of the fire. A commission spokesperson telling 12 News, through our investigation, it was determined that Castillo grabbed the live wire thinking that was the de-energized wire to work on. A representative of the Union for Electrical Workers of APS tells 12 News, I would agree that it was an accident and no violations were found. And we asked APS if they've changed any policies to ensure employees test lines before working on them. A spokesperson did not answer that directly, but says they completed a thorough internal investigation into the accident and remain committed to safety. Back to you.
All right, Joe, thank you.